How would it feel to have a thriving fitness business and have the freedom to enjoy life at the fullest? Well, that is exactly what the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show is going to give you. My name is Mathew Park. This is Jaime Filer.
Hey guys.
And we are here to serve.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Podcast. Today I am co-hosting with two of my favorite gents in the entire world, Mr. Alvin Brown and Mr. Professor Park. How are you guys?
I would love your glasses, Jaime, for Professor Park. Just saying, you know.
I'm gonna give them to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them to you.
Love it. I'm taking them.
Once you officially make the move to the Cayman Islands, I will gift you the glasses, but Montreal does not currently deserve them.
Agreed.
She'll have to come to give it to you, though.
That's how we roll.
No, obviously, out of respect.
Yeah.
So guys, today's theme, I don't even want to say a topic. It's just a theme because we don't have a specific topic, but who better to talk about mindset than Sweet Fist? What was your nickname again?
It was Alvin the Sweet.
Sweet
Yeah,
jab.
Too sweet.
That's it.
Sweet.
I like Sweet Fist. I don't know.
Well, it's done. It's
Maybe
done.
Right.
My name.
But again, so Mathew, I'm curious because you were the one that said, listen, if we're going to get Alvin on, we're going to talk about mindset. Was there something that you were thinking that our people need in regards to mindset that they could use in this season or chapter of their business or life that you decided today's going to be the day we talk about mindset?
That's a great question. And actually, it's funny you mentioned because, you know, obviously we know Alvin is the PMT master, you know, in TRM as our leader. And Jaime, you're also a mindset master with anxiety and confidence building with females that you work with, which is super incredible. So I figured, why not mesh? I don't want to call you the nicknames we talk in TRM. Maybe I will. You know what I'm talking about. Mesh it together and have this like complete mindset roundtable with our master over here, the legendary, and incorporate Filer power with some Matt Park, and we'll just sprinkle in some stuff on top, right?
I love that.
It was really kind of like a broad answer, Jaime, but you know, it definitely, I think that the one thing that we're seeing now in TRM with our clients who are progressing in their businesses, right, is they grow income. All of a sudden they grow in income and they hit a wall of like, okay, I've 3x my business, everything is going awesome, but I'm like, is this actually going to stay? You know, like the fear of success creeps in.
Sure.
And I think that's kind of maybe where almost this topic could be kind of cool to kind of shed all of our lights into where people could advance and improve in that process.
I love that. So I guess I want to start with Alvin. What is the first, because often people, until they hit a point in their, you know, either relationships where they're finally married or they finally become a parent or they're finally reaching 6 figures in their business, they don't know what they don't know in regards to mindset. Perhaps they've never been an imposter or been scared of success until they finally have a wife that they could let down, or they're finally nervous to be a father because they're now in charge of another human life, or they've made 100K and they're like, oh my God. So where do you start with people, Alvin, who've never been exposed to mindset training before?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny to me? Yesterday, I have a post I'm going to do later on a hockey player yesterday, the Leafs. The Leafs goalie. So the Leafs regular goalie got injured, and now they have this sub goalie who's coming right up from the minors, right in his first time being thrown into a playoff game, a tight playoff game, and he's been unbelievable. His name's actually The Wall, which makes hockey the goalie a wall. But anyways, they asked him about, he's been doing meditation. The dancers are going on and on how he's been doing meditation and how he's been, he has this thing he says, being now in the present, as if it's some new thing, you know. But anyways, it's amazing to me that we're still like, whoa, this guy does mindset work. Oh my god, like what? Are you kidding me? I mean, since the moment we got popped out of that womb, we should be working on mindset because we've got the script, and hopefully we get the right script. The mindset is everything. I mean, sports, business, life, everybody talks about it. 90% mental in sports, 90% mental in business. It's the mindset. And we all know, everybody listening and us out there, both of us, three of us, know that every time you climb to a new level, you went, oh man, I didn't know I didn't know that. And I hired this coach, and everything is there already, but we just can't see it. We can't see it. So mindset is huge. So one of the questions one of my mentor asked me was, how big of a rock do you want to push? Right? That's the first thing everybody wants to ask themselves is, how big of a rock do you want to push up that mountain? Because if you can decide and be careful, we can't fall in love with what glitters is gold out there. We have to figure out what's right for us. What do you want? Do you want more time with your family? Then don't plan to do 6 locations, 7 locations, and all over. No, if your family is important, pay your bills, enjoy that ride. And then when they're grown, and then expand, but enjoy what you have. But figure out what you want before you even start. Begin with the end in mind. It's a classic thing because too many people see other people. I mean, that's a human thing where we compare. Mm-hmm. We see other people with things, Bedros, Koulian, and we think we want to run the fit body. And yeah, it sounds good. That's Bedros's vision and his dream, and that's good for Bedros right now. But what do you want? That's where I would start with everybody is, before you even start, ask yourself, how big of a rock do you want to, or can you push? And then work from there, backwards engineer, and see if you have the chutzpah to go and get that and work for that, right? So start there. Begin with the end in mind before you even start doing anything else.
So Alvin, that is so crazy. I had a client come to me who was struggling with anxiety and essentially binge eating disorder, right? Full disclosure, totally okay. This is my niche, and that's okay. But we all know that when you have an addiction, it's because there's a hole elsewhere, right? Mm-hmm. That you are feeding either literally feeding with a food, but you could also feed with drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, what have you. Yep. So I said, I want you to do 2 things tomorrow. First thing in the morning, write down 10 things you like about yourself. Mm-hmm. Go about your day. End of your day, after you finish work, because her job is also very trying. I said, write down 10 things you want. Yeah. Just like you said, literally 10 things. And she said, 10 things I want, like out of life. And I said, out of the universe, 10 mm-hmm. things you want. Alvin, she came up with 4.
That's it.
This is a woman in her mid-40s. She is a mother. She is a wife, and she's like, I'm pathetic, aren't I? And I said, no, when was the last time somebody said, what do you want?
Yep.
Right. Amen. Nobody ever asks us that.
Amen. Amen. And so this is mothers, especially moms. Moms are famous, and back in the day with the wife kind of thing, the plutonic household and all these kind of things. It was women were forced to really lower down their goals. Men were out there chopping it and doing it and making big goals and doing big things. Women are homemakers, and it was so. We're coming off of that generation, generational mindset. And so funny enough, my clinic that I created, the Center for Healing and Peak Performance, it was called the Center for Healing and Personal Potential, because before I created it, I started asking, I noticed that your physiology is tied to your
for sure
your internal, their psychology. So and a lot of people don't have goals. They don't have big wishes and dreams. They keep it really low key. And I find she was a mom and a wife, and her husband passed away, and her daughter left home for college. So she had nothing, quote unquote. They were all her goals were based on somebody else being happy. But what about you? What do you want? Didn't know. So totally right. Totally right. We have to have that down.
Mathew, I know you also, on your initial sales call with people, often they'll say no because they think they can't afford it, which is really fear, right? You can't afford it. You're just scared that the program won't work for you, or that you won't work for the program, right? That's really what I can't afford it means, is I don't see the value because it's going to fail me, or I'm going to fail it. So how do you work around that on a call, with someone who's like, people come to Alvin and I, and they're willing to work on it. But if someone's putting up an objection, they're not working on it. So how do you talk to them?
Paint a bigger future. When they can see a bigger future and they start to use different language around the future and get them focused on that want, you can see their face and their body language sort of change. It's like, don't focus on right now, even though we are focusing on the present, but I want you to put yourself in 6 months, 12 months down the road. What would you want? Like you mentioned, Jaime, with your client, you know, it's funny. I love that you shared that because I think a lot of people get conditioned, and you know this, Alvin, from mindset coaching, on all the wrong things that they aren't doing. And then when it comes to like, hey, what do you want? Or what have you done really well that you're most proud of? They struggle to find the answers.
Mm-hmm.
So when you paint a picture on that sales call, or even in TRM itself, right? I did a training, I think after Alvin's core value session on creating your future self, right? Which is putting yourself in the future self. And, you know, if you look at like painting that picture and moving into it and shifting in, that's where I find that clients can start to shift, Jaime, from being stuck, you know, and not seeing it. Now, obviously starting almost like put themselves slowly in there and then gradually more in there. And then they start to open up to the possibility.
Yeah.
I love that. Alvin, were you going to say something else?
I was just going to add there too. And sometimes people get stuck on, I don't know what I want, you know, and we get overwhelmed in a way. And I would say start visioning. Visioning is a dynamic thing. I say this to people, it's dynamic because what Mathew and Jaime wanted at 20 years old is completely different than what they want at 30. And it'll be different at 40 and 50. So start somewhere. Don't worry about, you know, Martin Luther King, you know, I'm the quote man. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Start there. And just what do you want now? What do you want now? Don't worry about trying to do a 20-year, 30-year. It'd be nice if you can, but that starts with, so what do I want now? I just want to get out of debt. Cool. Start with that. How much do you want? Start with that. And what's your small term goal? Your short term? Is it 100K? Start with that. How will you get in backwards? And then work towards where you're opening your giant franchises all over. But it has to start. Don't be overwhelmed because a lot of people get stuck at even just creating a vision for themselves. They never did before for some reason. Yeah, it's crazy how we think that mindset is this weird thing. Whoa, he said he has a mindset coach. Oh, okay, wow. Yeah, so.
I'm curious if you guys have specific affirmations that you repeat to yourself, either when things are going not well or just first thing in the morning to set yourself up for a day that will go well. What is your go-to 1, 2, 3 phrases that help ground you?
Yeah.
You want to go ahead there, buddy? Go ahead first.
Yeah, I'll jump in. And funny enough, I just got off of a call with my team and we were talking about this. And again, another thing, it's a dynamic thing. So just get it started. So what I do every morning is I start with gratitude. What am I grateful for? Mm-hmm. Right? Waking up, first of all, is if you can't, here's the other thing that's funny. When you ask somebody to talk about gratitude, I don't know, where should I even start? What? You just woke up. Be grateful. And how about this one? You're free. Your freedom, hope. So all those things that you can do, what? A roof over your head, a chance, you get another chance, you get a do-over. It's crazy. So gratitude, what are you grateful for? You know, creativity, ideas, just come up with anything. You don't have to be that. Anything, freedom, that's something you should be grateful for. So that's the first thing I start. And then my affirmation, I do start with, I am so happy and grateful. That's the first place to start. I'm so happy and grateful that I've been given this message to spread the word of personal mastery to the globe, to millions of people, to make an impact. And my entire history, my entire experience is now culminated into giving me the power I need to share this message with total vulnerability and total power to connect and make an influence. So I repeat those, every time to give me the power I need. So I don't, you notice how it says, oh, I'm so happy and grateful that people aren't looking at me when I get on stage and worry about me. That's why I don't have the fear of getting on, because I'm here to deliver to my son, 27 years old, my second son. He just had one of his friends literally go to a she was alcoholic, they found out, but she went to a change room in a mall and did her thing there in the mall. Yeah, they found her in the change room. So my thing is, right now, Jesse Jackson, quote man, he said back in the day in the 70s, he said kids are shooting dope in their veins because no one's shooting hope in their brains. And I find today that no one's shooting hope in anybody's brains. It's all about doom and gloom. So my passion is, can I be the one idea well executed will change your life forever? Can I be the one that shoots one idea that helps you not to do that, not to go to that change room, and not to pick up the bottle, not to, just one idea? Because no one's shooting hope out there now. It's all doom and gloom. The planet's going down, the politics, the social settings. Someone has to be out there to tell them it's going to be all right.
I like that. That's beautiful. So powerful. Mathew, what do you tell yourself? How do you talk to yourself?
It is December 31st, 2023. I had an epic year, and I talk literally as if that year was done. And every morning, I've missed the day since since December 31st, December 27th of this past, and I recite in the Jeep, on a walk, in the bed, wherever, my future self. And I've memorized in my head now. And literally every time, there's a couple days, but most of the time, I feel goosebumps every time. And I feel energy shift within 30 seconds, if not 10 seconds. That's all. And then that leads into, like Alvin talked about, gratitude and prayer for me. But I also did with that because that gets me in a hopeful state, like Alvin talked about, hope, and also in a place of purpose and a place of passion where I'm waking up to this purpose, not waking up just to wake up and, and do something. I'm doing something bigger. And I've programmed on that psychology. So that's what I do.
I love that. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
What do you do? Jamie, I love to actually hear what you do in the morning.
I have 3 different ones. It really depends on the state that I'm in. Every day, first thing in the morning, as soon as my eyes open, I look to Katie, who is usually up, and I say, today is going to be effing amazing. Like out loud. That's it. Blanket statement. Full power behind my voice as well. That's the first one. The second one is before my workday starts, when I'm getting myself set up, laptop officially opens, it is high intention, low attachment. So that's been really helpful for me because, Mathew, you and I have worked very closely together on business. I go all in. And when someone cannot return that level of energy, it breaks my heart, right? When someone says no, I recognize that they're not saying no to me. Right. I'm past the taking it personally part, but it breaks my heart that they don't want to take care of themselves. And I have to remember that if it's not their time, I can't force them. So high intention, low attachment. And then at the end of the day, it is wealth is flowing to me through happiness and impact. So whether I made a sale or not, wealth will come because I will make people happy and have an impact.
Ooh, I felt that. And I like how you use wealth, by the way.
Yeah.
The word wealth. Yeah.
For sure. Because I'm not greedy. It's going to have, right? If you solve people's problems, then you will make money. That's how the world works. So I just want to make sure that I never stop solving problems. And,
Jaime, that's the definition of an entrepreneur. The definition of entrepreneur is a problem solver.
Yeah. Right, for sure. We teach it in TRM, right? Stop calling yourselves personal trainers. Every single person in this room is solving a problem for a specific demographic. Right? Alvin, you said something really important. You said, enjoy what you have. It's so important because, even in TRM, we always want more for you, right? When we inspire hope, when we want people to be optimistic, how do we also say, okay, but wait, you have a roof over your head. You can afford to put food on the table. How do you guys remind people to enjoy what they have without being too optimistic?
Yeah. Well, that's all, again, part of the personal mastery. We have to realize that it's not the getting the thing, because everyone listening, hearing my voice right now, everyone, wherever you are right now, was a goal. Wherever you are right now was a goal. Whether you like it or not, it was a goal. So now that you're there, are you done? You're not done. There's more to be had. But when you think back, wasn't it fun getting here? Wasn't it fun getting to where you are exactly right now? And now looking back, you realize that was, geez, I don't want to miss that, because that was the fun. The actual achievement is nothing. It's not even close to the fun of the growth every day when you set your goal and you get up and you're thirsty. You can just feel it. You're just so hungry to get on that stage, do whatever it is you do, create the business you have. The first time you're in school learning to be a trainer or learn to be, you're dreaming of the day I walk across and grab my diploma, and now you grabbed it and you're like, it's in the box somewhere over there. The fun was that thirsty part before you met your partner.
Yeah.
You looked at her, Katie, you looked at her and went, oh, wow, she's amazing. You had this full of heart with her, Genevieve, wow. And now you're married. Where is it? Where is it? Is it still there? So it was the fun. The wanting is the best part of it. So don't get caught up with the getting. Love the reason why I'm so consistent, and both of you know me by now, I'm consistent as hell. Because I love that learning. I love the every day. How can I get better every day? Every day, how can I learn something new and get better? And because I'm not, Mathew knows, that I'm very patient. I don't believe in 6 weeks to anything, or 2 weeks, or I'm a lifer. Because I love this part. Life is happening right now. So I don't want to wait.
There's one funny thing I wanted to share. Actually, I think Jaime, you might have a run for your money for the title of most show ups in a call. Alvin might give you a run for your money one of these days. I know hasn't been as long as you have, but you guys are like,
attendance record is,
you guys are toe on toe here.
I'm gonna keep accountable.
I love it.
Alvin, what you said reminded me I don't know if either of you listened to the Huberman Lab podcast from Andrew Huberman. So one of my favorite podcasts of all time that he did was The Dopamine is in the Effort.
Yeah.
And this goes back to cavemen, right? It wasn't necessarily getting the tiger, chasing the lion, like killing the thing. But when you and your tribe went hunting and there were little milestones along the way, that's where you'd get the hit of dopamine to be able to keep going. All of those little milestones you'd reach, and then you'd eventually get the kill. But like that was going to happen either way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And 100%. Then that was the first thing. And then the other one, in terms of how you were able to show up so consistently, is passion prevents burnout. Right. Every single one of us has been in the fitness industry since we were in our teenage years. Every one of us in this room. And I don't see a sign of any of us stopping. Sure, it looks different than it did when we were 17 and 18, but I'm not stopping. Nope. And it's because all of you guys and myself, we're all so enthusiastic. We live for it. We get up and this is our calling.
Yeah. Because you know what, Jaime, even Jaime 2 years ago when I came in the group is a different Jaime now. So Mathew, he's a different Mathew than what I met. So that's a beauty. The growth, So yeah, 100%.
There's a quote that you send to us, Alvin, in the leader group, and also a quote you send to us, I think individually. I forget the exact terminology, but it goes on, "Be here now" or something like that. It's a beautiful quote that you send, and it's a good reminder, for all of us.
It's I can't take credit for that like most quotes. I just repeat them. Here's the thing about quotes. If Jaime went through something or Mathew went through something tonight, and they said it in a little sound bite, just to summarize the thing they went through, there's some knowledge behind that. But they want to summarize it for you. So be the change you want to see. I mean, Gandhi left that because he had a whole bunch of thoughts behind it and just left that one little quote. But we post it and we move on. No, I want you to get from it. So what I said in there was something from John Kabat-Zinn from mindfulness. He's the grandfather of that movement, where he said, wherever you are, be there. Wherever you are, be there. Because humans, I read 30 to 50% of our day is in forward or backward. 30 to 50%. We're either here, we're never present. So, and if you're going forward, it's usually fear, anxiety, because you see, we're not fearful of things that already happened because we know the end of that movie. We're always fearful of things. We create these movies, scary movies, because we don't know that we think we don't know the ending, so we make it bigger and in preparation. And if you're backwards, usually most people are not usually fondly thinking back. They're usually in regret, guilt, shame. So if we can stand now, right now in this moment, and realize that in this moment we are rich, because if you had $1 million, it won't change this moment right now. If you had $1 billion, it won't change this moment right now. These moments that are going by, wherever you are, be there. And that's where the power, and it was funny, that hockey player, the goalie, that's what they said. He said, oh, he's not worried about, it's his first time there, but he's not worried about this. He's just being in the moment. And they're like surprised at that. Whoa. He's being now, because he's not worried that he's a rookie. Yeah. He's not worried that this is the big game. He's just being there now and being a great goalie. That's
great.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I have anything specifically to add to that. Mathew, is there anything any wisdom that you would like to finish us off with?
It's not a quote from Alvin, because he's the quote man. I won't take his chocolate thunder over, but I made a post this morning about growth that I believe is a reminder for everyone, including myself, all of us, that growth is a creative process and it's ongoing. It never stops. And I think it's inspired by Alvin, inspired by you, Jaime. Like, you guys both inspire me every day in this business, even though we're all working together. But if you don't keep growing in some capacity in different areas of your life, then I don't want to use the D word, but you will eventually fade out. And fulfillment comes from doing the things that do scare you, but also make you better.
Can I quickly, Jaime?
Yeah, go ahead.
I knew it.
He's sparking. So here's the thing. Growth. You're either going to change. You can't find a cave and hide and think you're not going to change. Change is one of those constant that never, even if you try to hide from it, I don't want to change, you're still growing older. You can't stop it. It is what it is. So you can, no decision is a decision, but you're still going to change. You got older. A minute ago, you were a minute younger. You're getting older. So you can either be in front of change and growth or be behind it or get run over by it and complain and complain. Meanwhile, it's still moving forward. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's still moving forward. So which way do you want to be? Front, behind, or under? So either way, it's moving. So yeah, awesome.
Alvin, Mathew, thank you guys so much. Obviously, we're going to need a part 2, 3, 4. We could go on forever. But in the meantime, Alvin, where can people find you if they want more of you? When they want more of you?
When they want more, I'm exhaustible on Instagram, Personal Mastery Training. I've got a podcast, same thing, Personal Mastery Training podcast. It's on all of them, all of the platforms. If you look for it, it's in my link tree on my bio. I've got a Facebook page as well. And I've got my books and more books coming out. And I'm with TRM, so you'll get more. You'll be nauseous when you join.
No such thing. And everyone else, we can be found at Trainer Revenue Multiplier on Facebook and Instagram. Please make sure you like the podcast, share, rate us, subscribe to us. Let's bump us up if you feel like we've delivered you value. In the meantime, have the best rest of your day. Mathew, Alvin, thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys. Peace.
Thank you, Jaime. Thank you, Alvin. You guys rocked, as always.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Love it.